Good evening, my friends. Today, I was reading Psalm 83 the other day, and man, I'll tell you what, it really came alive to me for the first time. Because I never really, I don't, I mean, I haven't really thought about it from an edifying perspective for like me personally if I'm like going through a hard time or if I'm depressed or whatever. Psalm 83 is not like a psalm, like a go-to psalm to be encouraged. But as I read it and I thought about the times that we're living in where we see Israel has become a nation again and they're at war, I just thought, wow, this passage is just we're the same thing is happening once again. And Psalm 83 says, "Oh God, do not be silent, do not be deaf, do not be quiet, oh God. Don't you hear the uproar of your enemies? Don't you see that your arrogant enemies are rising up? They devise crafty schemes against your people. They conspire against your precious ones. Come, they say, let us wipe out Israel as a nation. We will destroy the very memory of its existence." And, this to me, I can see this for Israel as the church and for the physical Israel who has a destiny in the fulfillment of the promises of God. And and man, you know, like and as I'm talking about lawlessness, another way that we can see lawlessness manifest itself. I was talking about the other things like with the Olympics, but um, another way lawlessness is manifesting itself today is in people turning on Israel and Jews and Christians, right? So when people are attacking Christians, people are attacking Jews, and people are attacking Israel as a nation in this whole Palestinian conflict, where people are actually like uh, chanting for Hamas and the people who went and raided innocent Israelis on the day of their Sabbath and massacred thousands of them, or 1,000. I don't remember how many it was, but it was terrible. Killing children in the streets and everything on the Sabbath day. This is what started that war in Israel. But um, that the fact that people are for Hamas and not Israel it blows me away. And um, but it's also a sign of lawlessness. That spirit of Antichrist. Okay, it's manifesting itself in different ways, and I don't mean to just focus on transgenderism, homosexuality, and abortion, but these are just flagrant things. There's a difference between uh, different there not that there's different levels. I guess there is kind of different levels of sense, because God, when he speaks of homosexuality and child sacrifice and stuff, these things were like an abomination to him. And when that word abomination is used, it's like the most hated term. It's the strongest term for something that God despises, and that term isn't used for everything. So it is, we shouldn't say, oh, sin is sin. It's all the same. It's not really. I mean, there are certain things that God abhors. Okay, and and homosexuality, transgenderism, and abortion are in those things that God says He hates. But anyways, because it does actually talk about a man dressing like a woman and in the Bible, so let's not act like that's not in the Bible. So yeah. But also we're seeing it manifest and coming in Israel. But there's other ways that it's manifest as well, and I'm probably going to touch on all those things because I don't want to seem lopsided. But I am focusing on, or I was focusing on, the things that God abhors the most, and I'll even go into those scriptures and show you those things. But yeah, they devise crafty schemes against your people. They conspire against your precious ones. We see that, you know, we see that crafty schemes, like the things that they design to provoke Christians and Israel to anger and then get us in a trap. There's going to be crafty things that we see unfold that's going to corner Christians and corner Israel into a corner where they're they're stuck, and God will be our only salvation. Amen.